We're going to look at addition polymerization. Now the thing with addition polymerization is they're all the same. If you know one, you know them all. What we need is to start off with is an alkene with 4 groups, and lots of them because they join together to make a polymer. So the monomer unit, the alkene monomer unit, joins together to make a polymer, and you show it's a polymer by drawing the square brackets around and putting an N in front. So if I start off with N number of monomers, I can put my N number of polymer units. Now for an example, there's ethene we start off with as our monomer unit, N in front, and the double bond will spring open. The carbon-carbon double bond springs open. It's like arms unlinking. And you still got the same 4 groups. It's just that you straighten them up a bit, do the square brackets, put the N, and you've got polyethene. Now what I mean was, if you know them one, you know them all. We can just change this around very easily and make other addition polymers. For instance, if we change one of the hydrogens and instead we put on a methyl group, we've got propene as our monomer, and that will make polypropene as the polymer, or polypropylene. Similarly, we can change that methyl group, and instead of having a methyl, we can put on a chlorine. And the monomer this time is chloroethene, and it produces polychloroethene. It's commonly known as PVC. It used to be known as polyvinyl chloride. So they are quite easy once you know how. That's the monomer unit you start with, and you end up with a polymer, which is just a load of those monomers linked together. The double bond springs open. Now let's have a look at an exam style question, because typically they'll give you a structural formula and ask you to try and work out what it's going to polymerize to. So you'll need to change the structural formula into the kind of display formula that we've been working with to make it easy. So here we've got a structural formula here, and it's asking for 3 repeat units of it. Now it might be a compound you've never come across before, but this is just easy. You just do the same thing as you did before. You start off with the carbon-carbon double bond and the 4 groups. Now you've got to think what groups are on each carbon. On the left-hand carbon, you can see it's got 2 hydrogens, so that's easy. We can just put 2 hydrogens there. Now on the right side of the double bond, there's a hydrogen, and then there's this carboxylic acid group. So we'll put a hydrogen on one, and the COOH, carboxylic acid group, on the other. Now it's easy. We can treat it just like we did with the other examples. We need N number of them, and it will polymerize. Double bond springs open. The 4 groups stay in the same place. We put the square brackets round and put the N to show we've got lots of them. Now it's asked for 3 repeat units. Now that what we've got in the square brackets is the repeat unit, so we just need to link 3 of those together, a bit like cutting and pasting. That's one of the repeat units. Now we just need to take another one of the repeat units and another one of the repeat units to make our total of 3, like the question's asking us for. Do remember to put the N bonds on the carbon. Don't leave them blank. Make sure that you put the N bonds on. That's important.